Chad Welker for the Zips Digital Network here with head coach of the men's basketball team, John Gross. And, Coach, final recap of the game against Kent State. A nice 3-point victory over your rival.
Yeah, it was just a heck of a game. A high-level game. Obviously, they're really well coached. They've got really good players. Rob does a great job with them. I thought really both games could have went either way. I mean, it was just what you'd expect of a rivalry game. And our guys, fortunately, in the second one made a few more plays at the end than what we did in the first one, and we were able to, get a really, really hard-fought win on a really special night. Having a chance to recognize our seniors. They're such a special group of guys. And then having an opportunity to recognize one of our all-time greats in Romeo Travis in front of a sellout crowd, national television. Special night to be a Zip.
Coach, I want to talk about two players and specifically Greg Tribble, who's just continually showing as a freshman. He's got some hops and some movement and getting more playing time. And then Zarius Williams, who ended up winning Player of the Week in the Mid-America Conference for the East.
Yeah, both guys, right, have really stepped up. And I think, I've talked about the silver lining in the cloud. We had, the situation at Buffalo where we were without Cheese. Then the next game, Jackson fouls out with 9 minutes to go. And then we had some of our older guys that didn't play, particularly great this past week, but grinded out and made some plays for us. And in the process of all that happening, Chad, what happened is some of our younger guys and some of our bench got more minutes, and it really allowed us to, I think, have even more confidence in the depth that we have heading into the MAC tournament. Obviously, Greg's a big part of that, and you're exactly right. He's played more minutes over the last 2 to 3 weeks. He's earned them, as has Ali. He's done the same thing. Reese's minutes have been really good. And then we always know that Sales and Dawson are going to be ready. So it's really afforded us the luxury of having a much deeper basketball team.
Now we get to move into what you call season 3 of your season. Mid-American Conference tournament play. You take on that Ohio team that you just faced off a week ago, noon tomorrow. Just thoughts on the Bobcats?
Obviously, they're playing really well. I mean, you could make the case from a win-loss perspective if you just looked at it objectively, Chad, that, they winning 7 out of 10 and us winning 8 of the last 9 are two of the hottest teams in the league. They are playing great basketball at both ends of the floor. I said that to Jeff leading into game 2. They've continued with that trend. Their players have gotten better. Their team continues to grow. I think they're really difficult to defend. They've got multiple weapons, and their scheme is good. And then defensively, I just think they've grown and gotten a lot better from when we played them in game 1. So it's going to be a great challenge. We're going to have to play really, really well.
And then, of course, kind of the wrinkle, but it is a serious note, limited spectators. What is that going to do from a mentality standpoint of an atmosphere?
Well, we've got to not allow it to do anything, and that's challenging, right? You got to have great mental toughness to be able to do that. My first comment on it has been obviously the paramount thing here is the health of individuals and people. There's nothing that's more of a priority than that, whether that's on our campus or off our campus. Domestically, worldwide, Northeast Ohio, that takes precedent as it should. So great respect for that, decision and understand the gravity of it. Having said that, if you put that aside, there's also some, disappointment, you have for our alumni, our fans, our students here on campus that typically come up to the games and the environment that we typically have. I've always said that the MAC tournament is really, really special because of that environment and an NBA arena and a great city. And, we'll have to adapt. The old Marine saying, improvise, adapt, and overcome. We're going to have to be able to do that. And I think really have to be tough mentally and physically. I think it puts more of a spotlight on that.
And then, Coach, just because we do these weekly previews, what is it going to take to bring home another championship this year?
Well, first thing to have a chance to do that is we got to win the first game. And, that's our focus right now. And I think if you get too far ahead of yourself this time of year, it's a bad formula. So our focus right now is, on beating Ohio. That's going to be challenging, obviously, as we mentioned earlier, because they're playing so well and trying to get to Friday, and then we'll come up for air at that point.
Fans, just keep to date with our Twitter page, ZipsMBB, for all the inside looks of the men's basketball team as they go on their quest for Mid-American Conference Tournament Championship and get that automatic bid to the NCAA Championship. Game 1 tomorrow at noon, ESPN+. Zips versus the Bobcats. Have a great rest of your week, and as always, go Zips.